tomorrow, or next time, or, it's expensive, or I'm busy. When I hear those words, what I hear is, you're not going to win. Because you're saying, well, tomorrow there's not a good time. Some other day. Those are not words of adventurers. Those are not words of championship teams. Like, tomorrow I'll work out. Oh, I'll do that. I'll work on a double tomorrow. No. Like, that's not what champions do. Recently, I was able to go on an amazing adventure. This is my mom on the screen here. And there's Mom. And Mom has stage 4 kidney cancer. And I don't know how much time she has left. And no matter how much money I have, no matter how smart I am, I cannot add a day to her life. And then I realized, while I was sitting next to Mark on Orlando training, that I could add life to her days. And so, what you have to understand is that your opportunity in this room is that it's so much more than amazing products. It's so much more than hope wrapped in health, that you can add life to people's days. You can add friendship, fun, and freedom. And there is no better opportunity or job in the entire world. I remember when I was on that trip, she's from a village in the Arctic Circle. So it's called Tromsø, and we were there. And in Tromsø, she has not been back since she was a little girl. So I surprised her for her birthday recently, and I said, we're going to go visit the village that you grew up in. And so we went, and we had this incredible adventure. And right towards the end, she said, my father, your grandfather, he was a pastor of a church, but I don't know what church it was. And so we started to say, well, you know what? Maybe we're flying out tomorrow. Maybe we'll stop by. We'll look at stopping by. But I don't want Mom to overdo it. Let's try to get to the airport early, because that church, maybe they believe weird stuff. I don't know, what? We don't speak the language. You see what you do? You see what I did? I was myself talking myself out of it. You do not understand how much you are saying no for other people, how you are talking yourself out of an adventure constantly. You don't even realize you're doing it. And so we planned on not going and trying to find this. We didn't know where the church was. We didn't know what it was called. It's been almost 60 years since she left. And so right as we were packing up, and we're tired and jet lag, I just said, we're going to say yes to the adventure, and we're going to try. And so we went up to the church. We went in. And it was weird, and they didn't speak language, and it was and we sat there, and at the end, they came and they brought the picture of my grandfather that had been on the wall. And they told me stories about how he was a hero and how he was in the resistance. And you see, my mom doesn't have a birth certificate because the Nazis burned them during World War II. And right as we were about to leave, they pulled out a book from the back and dusted it off, and they opened it up. And I have a picture here that what they did is we found that there is my mom's name in my grandfather's handwriting in a book that's been sitting on a shelf for now almost 60 years, that because she was the daughter of the pastor, her birth records were there and they weren't where they were burned. And I would have never had that moment if I would have made all the excuses and not just said yes. And you know what I wonder is how many of us in this room, we don't get that experience. How many times have you said no? How many times have you robbed, not just yourself or your family, but you've robbed the world of an amazing story? My hope for you is that you always stay thoughtful, that you help your friends and that you make new friends, that you always see the moonwalking bear and that you see the pink feet, that you invite people into a grand adventure, that the day has to go to you because your adventure begins right now.